How's the summer been?
Yeah, it's been good. It's been good. Really good to have the guys here, getting to spend time, in Providence, getting to know each other and get some schoolwork done, get ahead with their classes, and then, get to spend some time in the weight room with Coach Brown and on the court with us. It's been good. Integrating the new guys to each other and a couple of our new staff members to each other and to our group and our players to the team.
Seemed like you had a strong message of we collective there at the end of practice.
Yeah, it's been a consistent theme, throughout, and the guys have really answered the bell, for the most part, and the way we want to play, how we want to operate and respond. Practice is challenging. It's very, very challenging. Put them in adverse situations, and for them to respond the right way.
Yeah, how different from a health perspective has this summer been maybe last summer? That's allowed you to kind of get your message across as you wind down here.
Pretty good. We got 15 healthy guys today. I think one guy missed. Rich missed with the precautionary thing. He was the only one that was out today, which was great. It's been good. We had some subs, a lot of subs this summer, but we systematically went at it differently. The first portion of the summer wasn't much live bone-on-bone stuff. As we taught, built up our guys' conditioning, built up their strength, their legs, what we want to do on the court. And then this last half of summer was much more live action.
When we talked to you in May, you talked about the emphasis on defense and that pullback. How much had you seen that side of the ball grow?
Yeah, it's been good. It was, we had three main focuses this summer as a group. One was our connectivity as teammates, as a program, how connected we are. The second one of the three, not in the order, but was the pace in which we wanted to play offense. And then lastly was, establishing our defensive identity. And I think we've done that. We've definitely identified, the how we want to play. As we get back in the fall, it's going to be more nuanced into the what we're trying to do, but we got some guys that are naturally competitive on that side of the ball, which makes things a lot easier.
In terms of where you can be at this point at the end of the summer, do you feel like the guys are where you want them to be?
Yeah, I think every coach would say yeah to that. It's like a pro team after they draft. They always got exactly who they wanted, who they targeted. Every off season we had a great off season. I think I'm not, upset at where we are. I think we're moving in the right direction. I thought, and the main goal and hope was to finish this summer healthy. And that's another focus going into the fall. I want to have a healthy roster when it's time to play games.
Kim, any more you could share on Rich and on Stephon?
Yeah, no, Rich is fine. He's going through half the works. He had a bit of a groin injury. He's fine. He's good. So Steph was out. So 13 of 15. Steph is still working his way back. He's 2 months and 11 days post-op right now. So about another month and a half, 2 months until he'll be ready to go live.
How has been integrate guitars into the mix?
It's been great. He got off the plane from Latvia and it's really good his first day. He had a workout, he had a physical, he had a workout, maybe a lift, and then he was in practice. And but he's a pro. He's played professional basketball, so he's done a really good job finding his way and how he can impact on the court. He's rebounding, he's using his great size and length, finishing inside.
So I want to take you to football side. Like Vrabel at the end of spring, he told the players basically the 5 weeks leading up to training camp are the most important stretch. When you break with these guys at the end of the week and they go all for the summer roughly, what will be your kind of overarching message to them when they go home, kind of maybe relax, but also stay sharp? So when you guys come back, you just get the route running and continue.
Yeah, stay connected, as a group, as teammates. Obviously, you need to rest your body to an extent as we're getting ready for November through April season. But don't lose a lot of what we've done. The advantage is, you can not have a lot of pounding, playing a lot of 5-on-5, or, it doesn't need to be doing squats with bands, really accelerating the pounding on their knees, but you can still work to stay in good shape, and then when we get back in September, it's the build up to October to November, until we're playing games.
How's Osman look in terms of putting on the weight, build muscle, things like that? How is that kind of translated on the court?
Yeah, it's good. He's a lot stronger. He's, noticeably bigger. I think he's right around 250 right now. See it in his arm, see it in his leg, and he hasn't lost his athleticism. It's just about his mobility, his flexibility, working on his run strides, and he's gotten better this offseason.
What's it been like working with Brian Gomes?
Gomes is amazing. He's been, I can't speak enough about the value add he's been to our program in every aspect. From a coaching perspective, to his teaching, his technical teaching on the court with the guys, the things that he sees, the experience that he brings. Providence College is very lucky to have Brian Gomes as an alumni, and also very lucky to have him as an employee.
How do you approach that, Kim, in terms of change in staff dynamics, maybe change in post-practice meetings or pre-practice preparation, just in terms of how you approach the group and melding it together?
Change?
Well, no, 2 guys out on the staff, 2 guys in.
Yeah, they assimilate. They're pros. They've worked in really high-functioning ecosystems. The Portland Trailblazers, the Cleveland Cavs. They're coming in teaching me stuff. The Brian Tibaldi worked with the 1 seed out of the East last year. So it's been great them coming in and helping us function better, more organized in certain areas. Just learning different things. It's good to have and hear a fresh voice sometimes.
How much has it helped? You told us about that closed door meeting you had with Corey to keep Ghost the program. How much has it helped to just have him around as a leader and a guy?
Yeah, man, retention is everything. I think I commend Shaka so much for what he's doing in Milwaukee with retaining his group, because the connectedness of those guys is, I think, worth a ton of wins. And having Corey here with us, Rich, Ryan, all of our returns, not having to teach everything to a couple of guys is great. Having some guys that can aid in the teaching to others is great. Corey's a linchpin to what we want to do. I said it, I'll say it again, he's wearing the jersey that his father wore. And in this day and age of college basketball, if you can get guys where wearing the jersey means something to them, you better fight to protect it with your life, because it's not the case, at a lot of places, on a lot of teams, with a lot of players. The name on the front of the jersey is meaning less and less every year in college basketball.
You had talked about how you had some of the returners reach out to the new guys that kind of play part in that, and just the focus that you wanted to see with the team. How important is that over the last few months for you, kind of building?
Yeah, it was great. During the recruiting process of all of our transfers, and obviously our incoming freshmen, that happens naturally. Jaylen Raley sat in our locker room after losses last year. He's a part of the group. Same with Osman, same with Mila as they were amateurs. But it was great. It aided in the connection. Jameer and Jalen Sellers were working out together in Florida in the spring. Jason was connecting with Corey all spring. So when they got here, they knew each other. Rich went to watch Jameer train in Chicago this past spring. So it's definitely helped and aided the transition.
I won't ask you to single anybody out, but how has the transfer group shown on the court compared to what you guys saw on film when you were recruiting?
Yeah, they are, the old NFL, speaking of, someone brought up NFL, they are who we thought they were. Jason Edwards, Jalen Sellers, Duncan Powell, Cole Hargrove, Daquan Davis, all of our transfers, all of our incoming guys, they've been who we've thought they were. Now it's integrating them to become us, part of us. The shared purpose, how we respond, how we handle adversity, how we handle success. What it's like to be. We work really hard. We spend a lot of time in the gym working on our game. It's been about getting them to assimilate to us and giving them space to be who they are. Jason Edwards is a big-time scorer. Jalen Sellers is a great athlete with great speed. Cole Hargrove is a great addition. Daquan is tough and competitive as they come. We want them to be who they are, but as they figure out who that is with us.
What do you see from Corey's growth as a leader this offseason?
Yeah, exponential. And it's really just the confidence to speak. He says the right things. He thinks the right things. Just now is do it, and say it. It starts with him holding himself to a high standard, which he's always done. But now it's demanding it from others. And Corey, and encouraging others to do the same. Jalen Sellers, encouraging those guys, Oswin Arunse, Ryan Mila, to speak up, and echo the truth of what's taking place on the court. That's where we can grow as a program, is in the area of adequate communication. In the play, before the play, after the play, just constant chatter. And I think that's probably consistent throughout college basketball.
Aside from the players, they obviously get the time off. They get to go home. Will you take any time?
I'm pretty locked into it. I'm pretty locked into it. So we're here. Got my girls. I'm good. I've got to venture around New England a little bit. I got to. Nap does a good job getting me out with our donor base. I had a trip to Nantucket and a trip to Martha's Vineyard. I have a trip to Cape Cod in a couple of weeks, just day trips to meet some people, and that's good enough for me.
How's golf getting?
I've played 8 times, and at PC events. That gets us to some great golf courses. I'm the same golfer I've always been. I don't get any better. Get a little bit worse, but pretty stays the same.
Well, that chip on 18 at Cranston Country Club the other day was.
Yeah, that was AI. That was AI.
How are Jameer and Jaylen Raley?
Great. Freshmen, good days, bad days. Love them both because they give it their all. Jaylen has had a great summer in his improvement, and probably as much growth as anyone on our team this off season has been Juke, and where he is today as opposed to where he was his first day. His body, the pace in which he's playing, what he's seeing, the reads he's making, and Jameer as well. He's getting better and better and better. He's very, very coachable, and with his natural talent, coachability is a great trait to have.
Not that you need to share this publicly, but as you exit this, do you have an idea of rotations, guys you want to see to play together, or does that more come together?
Yeah, I'll say this. In every year I've been a player or a coach, I've never had the starting 5 right with what I thought going into a season. And I've been kind of off on the rotation some. There's a ton of competition out there, and there's a ton of opportunity out there. I know what our number will be. We'll play 9, 10, maybe 11. And that will lead to some very healthy and consistent competition amongst the group.
I'm sure you have a couple guys in mind who are going to play more than most, but as you come back in September, do you make it clear to the guys, look, a lot of this is still fluid?
Yeah, roles will be defined. That stuff works itself out on the court. We didn't have a rotation all of last season, and that was a little bit to do to health, but also a little bit to do with effectiveness and efficiency with playing to a standard. And you don't want that. I don't want a replay of last season. I didn't know who would, but players set the rotation. The rotation is determined by what you do on the court. And, so I'm excited to see how it shakes out. And, we got 97 more days. All right, thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Appreciate you all.
Thank you.
Thanks. How's it sound?
It's been great. A lot of new guys. Obviously, that's the times we're in right now. But it's been a lot of fun, getting to connect with these guys. We gel very well, I think, since the first day. And it's been a great 2 months.
Coach has been talking about connectivity is one of the things that you really wanted to stress this summer. Just how much do you feel like you're connected not only on the court, but off where it's teammates too?
Yeah, we just love each other's company. I'll say this has to be one of, if not the tightest team I've been a part of. And we only been here 2 months, so that's definitely a great sign. But yeah, we enjoy each other's company. Off the court, we're always together, whether we're going out to eat, just chilling at somebody's spot or whatever it may be. We definitely enjoy each other.
Has that sort of been a conscious effort for you as a leader of the team to make sure that the guys are, connecting and having the chance to do that?
Definitely. I think that was something I stressed to all the newcomers before they got here. I got in touch with all of them. And it was really just how well we could connect and how close we could become, over these 2 months. And I think we did just that.
Tim had just talked about how you really have emerged as a leader. How much do you embrace that role?
This is my 4th year playing, my 5th year in college. I always feel like I've been somewhat of a leader, but now it's looked upon others for me to step into that role. And, I just embraced it. I feel comfortable in that role, and I got a lot of knowledge I'm just looking to share with others.
Corey, as returners, do you guys have the loudest voices probably when all these guys came here? But as the summer's going on, have you seen other guys, the newcomers, kind of assert themselves more and get more comfortable?
Yeah, definitely. Like I said, this is a close group, so I feel everybody is comfortable connecting with each other. Some guys are a little more loud than others, but that's normal. But off the top of my head, I would just say people like Jalen Sellers and Jason Edwards, those two, and Duncan Powell as well. Just from the experience that we all have, they haven't been quiet about it, and it really helped us.
You have a little bit of a break coming up after Friday. How much are you looking forward to that? But also, too, get in the gym and stay sharp because, you'll be back here and then it'll be go time in September.
Yeah, we don't have no time to get out of shape or anything like that. So we're going to still be in the gym, still lifting and be connected as much as possible, whether that's texting in the group chat, FaceTime, things like that. We're going to keep building up for sure.
And how important would that be in terms of, you guys have been together for roughly 2 months, but you don't want to lose touch with anyone, even though you guys will all be home?
Yeah, I think it's going to be everything to us. We can't take any steps back, and that's going to be the main thing. When we come back in September, we're just going to look to keep rolling, from where we left off.
How would you assess where you are right now compared to where you were at this time last year?
Sure.
How would you assess where the group is right now compared to where you were at this time last year?
It's definitely a different group. Last year was last year, but as far as this year, we're definitely on the right track, I believe. Like I said, just from a connected standpoint and just from, how we compete on the court, it's definitely there. So we're on the right track.
Yeah, and a couple staff changes as well, just in terms of the way they've worked with you guys so far. Any different things they're trying to teach? Any different messaging coming from you?
Yeah, we definitely have a couple new movements, just more off-ball cutting, more live reads, things like that. And like I said, it all goes back to how connected we are. It's just playing off of one or the other, and we're doing well with that. So we're going to keep building.
How much does having Coach Gomes around this gym and around this program again, does that sort of motivate you guys? And when he has a message, how much does that resonate with?
Yeah, it's everything. He's a Friar legend. And I worked out with Gomes a lot, so it's a lot of paying attention to detail, because he's been here and he's done it, at the highest level. So we have knowledge like that. When you have someone like that around, you really just try to pick their brain at all times and just be as locked in as possible.
Corey, if you notice a difference with the freshmen from last year to this year, all three of them didn't have a full summer of workouts last year, and what they look like this year, the difference?
I would say definitely more comfortability, just knowing what we're looking for out there and just more confident, Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Appreciate you.
Same.